What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content. And with that being said, man, these last statements that this statement that I'm about to play for Ric Bucher should serve as a warning to LeBron James and his management team, Clutch and Rich Paul, right? Because the way that they're doing things, I think is just going to cause them problems in the long run. People are competitive, people are jealous, and people are vindictive, right? And that's just if you doing things the right way, right? But when you do things the way that LeBron James have and Rich Paul and Clutch have done things over the years, that just compounds their situation and it makes it worse, right? And so what's happening is you'll find people just waiting for the opportunity to get back at LeBron James, to get back at Rich Paul, right? Because they won't always have the leverage that they enjoy right now. And it should be obvious to them that the leverage that they have right now is pretty much going to come to an end soon, because the leverage that they have is really based on the fact that LeBron James is in the NBA, and that's it. And LeBron James has not taken the opportunity his 23 years in the league to build any goodwill, any bridges with anybody. And so if he is a historian of the game and he know the game the way he claimed to know the game, or the way people say that he know the game, then he would be somebody who would have done things differently, right? He mimicked Michael Jordan in a lot of ways, but the most important way that he should have mimicked Michael Jordan, he didn't. And that is, he should have poured everything that he had into being the best basketball player he had and that he could have been, in order to build to build that fan base so he can always tap into that fan base. He didn't do that. And part of what Ric Bucher's message is to LeBron James is just that, right? Because players who build that goodwill with the fan base, they go on after their career to be able to capitalize on that and tap into that after their careers are with. LeBron James didn't choose to go that route. That was the most important thing LeBron James could have done throughout his career, right? And so, with that being said, let me play what Ric Bucher said, and then I'm going to come back and make some comments.
Had to say.
The man has been in the league for the last 23 years. He's played in 10 finals over that time. He has surpassed all-time records, both great scoring, minutes played, and not so great turnovers. Even when he's not performing well or on center stage, he has found ways to capture our attention. He has broken countless norms, whether it's having his son drafted by his team or employing an agent who hosts a podcast and talks openly about LeBron's teammates, or declaring himself the greatest player of all time. Something no other player has ever fixed their lips to say publicly. They are reflections of his power and influence and willingness to use them. Some people.
And I just want to add, I'm not going to interrupt too much, but the power and influence he has is temporary. Whereas though the fans, if he'd had built that relationship to the fans, that would have been forever.
See it as bold, breaking the mold. Others see it as self-serving and annoying. The fact is, LeBron's longevity, success, and willingness to break from conventional norms makes it impossible to avoid talking about him. So this is the first epiphany I had. The reason his fans are so devoted to him and believe wholeheartedly he is the greatest all-time player ever is because no one has generated more attention ever. Attention, clicks, views, ratings, subscriptions. This, in today's world, is equated with excellence, much like being on TV is perceived as being intelligent or knowing something. However, neither one of those premises is true. The Jerry Springer Show at one point averaged between 9 and 11 million viewers daily. This was on TV, which invariably meant being in someone's living room or at home, not watching a phone in the back of a taxi or at a table in a coffee shop or while walking to work. Then there were the Kardashians, who flipped their reality show fame into product influencing. They counted their earnings and their social media followers in the billions. Was Springer or the Kardashians good at something? Yes. Attracting and holding people's attention by any means necessary. That was their sole aim, and they were masters at it. According to Dan Le Batard, that is the sole purpose and aim of TV, to attract and hold people's attention. And that is a sad commentary. Depressing, actually. But I can't say he's wrong, at least not in today's world. Maybe that's why being on TV has never impressed me. I ended up with a TV career because of my knowledge and insight and ability to convey it. I didn't pursue it. I've never let go of the idea that the first part, having knowledge and insight, is negotiable, that how I convey it is all that matters. Seeing where TV executives are investing their money, I'm clearly wrong about that. Convey something, anything, in an entertaining fashion, and we'll put you on TV. LeBron, of course, is also a master at attracting and holding people's attention. He is also a stupendously talented and dedicated athlete. But his ability to attract and hold people's attention, lots of people, is in no way strictly because of his talent and dedication. I would venture to guess there are as many people who follow or watch LeBron to see him fail as those who do so to watch his mastery. Put those two groups together, and that's a whole lot of people. And that's why the league wanted him to make up his mind, so they could schedule as many national games featuring him as they could. That's not purely because he's a great player. It's because he's a polarizing great player.
So you heard what Rick had to say.
All right. So polarizing, right? And that's what I've been saying in so many of my podcasts, that it's polarizing. So you have, like Ric Bucher said, you have LeBron James, people on one side who love him and want to see him succeed, and then you have the other half that really want to see him fail, right? Whereas though there was no need for him to be polarizing and be divisive as far as his fan base was concerned. I just think that back in the days, and I don't think some things never change, in my opinion. When you are somebody who just put everything you have into your craft, then people admire you for that. You don't have to be polarizing, because it's a shorter shelf life, in my opinion, to be polarizing. And LeBron James, it seems like the kind of person that he don't play the long game. He don't really look at the big picture. And for somebody who has a knowledge and claim to have be aware of the history of the game, he played this game all wrong. And so once he goes into retirement, the half of the fan base that he really don't have like their blessing or their approval, he's going to lose those people unless he can do something outrageous to maintain their people, their interest. But other than that, it was the end is coming, because once he separate from the league, and that's where his leverage is, he really don't have that fan base to tap into like other great stars like Magic. Like Magic, in LA is like beloved. Boston, they love Larry Bird, and those guys can always tap into the market. Number one. Then number two, those fan bases, they carry your legacy and protect your legacy. Whereas though Larry Bird don't have to make a statement about how great he is. His fans will do that. And I mean, like Boston Celtics, Larry Bird fans are passionate about Larry Bird, right? Just like Laker fans are passionate about Kobe and Magic Johnson. So they don't have to, those are battles that somebody else will fight for you, and they'll fight more vigorously than what Magic can fight, or what Larry Bird or Kobe Bryant can fight. Those fan bases really will stand up for you. LeBron James is not going to have that. He's so much polarized, and they don't believe that some things, like I said, some things never change. The way you win people's hearts and minds is like you perfect your craft and you give everything you can on the floor. It's not just about being polarizing, because polarizing, once you're no longer polarizing, then the league don't have anything to do with you. Nike, All the sponsors, they, and they don't need you anymore. And so where is your leverage? Where is your fan base? What can you tap into? Like what can you carry into those board meetings and say, I'm able to influence this amount of people? When the professionals know better than even LeBron James what his what his reach is, and how much influence he had. And they know where his influence come from. That's why Michael Jordan is just so popular. You think about Michael Jordan being the most popular athlete even years after he ever played. That's why Tom Brady is so popular, because those guys, man, put everything they had into their craft, and people are not going to let that go. People going to hold on to that, man, to their last breath. So the end is definitely near for LeBron James, and Ric Bucher just pointed it out. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.